Since the 1950s, when the unchecked power of the wealthy and large corporations has been threatened, they've relied on one arbitrary and arcane rule in the US Senate to stop pro-worker legislation, the filibuster. The anti-worker, pro-corporate legacy of the filibuster will dictate Joe Biden's presidency if we don't act to eliminate it. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is part of a long history of conservative politicians who used the filibuster to block civil rights, worker rights, and good jobs for all.
Proudest moments I can think of in my own career have been the things that I stopped.
Of course, the filibuster hasn't posed a problem for corporations and rich people who want to pass tax cuts and defund healthcare and education. Corporate-backed politicians like Senator McConnell have used the filibuster to block campaign finance legislation that would limit their power over our elections. The Bipartisan Campaign Finance Act of 1999 and the Disclose Act of 2010 were aimed at fighting the influence of the unlimited campaign contributions from wealthy people and big corporations. They would have established new and stricter disclosure requirements for political spending by corporations, prohibited US corporations with foreign ownership from making political contributions, and banned unlimited soft money contributions to political committees and parties.
So my colleagues, I hope that we will move forward on this to make sure that the voice of citizens is not drowned out by secret spending by the biggest corporations, including foreign-controlled corporations.
Both bills had support from a majority in the Senate, but corporations and their allies in the Senate used the filibuster to block necessary reforms. If not for the filibuster, the United States would also already have bold legislation to strengthen worker protections and make it easier for workers to form a union. The National Right to Work repeal of 1966, the Labor Law Reform Act of 1977, the Labor Relations and Railway Act Amendment of 1994, and the Employee Free Choice Act of 2007 all passed a Democratic-controlled House and were supported by a majority of senators. Each bill was killed by corporate-backed politicians with the filibuster. The filibuster is one of the main reasons we have a racial wealth gap in America. In the 1930s and 40s, racist Southern Democrats used the filibuster to exclude Black and Latino people from the New Deal programs that created the middle class. Domestic workers and agricultural workers were excluded from minimum wage laws and worker protections. Black families were excluded from getting an education through the GI Bill and a mortgage through the Federal Housing Authority. Today, Democrats have the votes to increase the minimum wage for 27 million people. We can pass the PRO Act to nearly double union membership and strengthen protections for workers. And we can stop billionaires and large corporations from buying our elections and protect the right to vote. These policies would help close the racial wealth gap and put power back into the hands of working people. But we can only do it if we eliminate the filibuster. As I explained in my book, Kill Switch, we've changed the filibuster rules before, and we can do it again. The Constitution states the Senate has the ability to create and establish whatever procedural rules it deems fit, and when necessary, the Senate can change its rules. The Chuck Schumer-led Democratic caucus faces an important choice. Will they allow Mitch McConnell to use the filibuster to do the bidding of large corporations and the wealthy, or will they pass the legislation that the American people overwhelmingly want? Call your United States Senator and urge them to end the filibuster once and for all. We can't squander this opportunity to act.